much, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for joining us today, and especially thank you for your very detailed report on the 45th general election. I think that election night is a very exciting and stressful time for candidates and Canadians alike. I'm sure everyone in this room was on the Elections Canada website on the evening of April 28th, and unfortunately, when we needed it most, elections.ca crashed. According to page 18 of the report, it went down at 7 p.m. on election night, and it was not fully restored until just after 5 a.m. the next morning. And I strongly suspect even the most hardcore political junkies were fast asleep by 5 a.m. and there was probably a very large reduction in volume and traffic at the website by that late hour. So I was wondering if the witnesses could share with the committee what exactly went wrong with the website and what steps are being taken to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I hope that the technical solution is not to just wait until 5 o'clock in the morning when people stop using the website.
So thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. Many elements to that question. To be clear, it's not technically speaking, the website was not the problem. The web service provider that's behind the website, so our systems were functioning, but people could not access them. So there was a failure of a firewall that is set up by a private partner that provides the web services for us during the election, and that firewall could not handle the spike that we saw on election night. We did see throughout the election period, I should say, we saw double the visits on our website, and that was true as well on election night, more than double what we had in the last two elections, which were pretty stable. So that created a firewall to go into what we call protection mode. And to stop the traffic from penetrating or slow it down significantly such that it was very difficult for most Canadians to get access. A couple of things. One is that at that point, we had to identify the source of the problem. We were very quickly informed, working with Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, that it was not a cyber attack. So this was almost instantaneous. We knew that that was not the case. Our service provider, however, was not able to identify in real time the source of the problem. So there's a few lessons learned from that event. Of course, from the service provider point of view, they have augmented significantly the capacity of their firewalls. They've replaced the firewalls with much greater capacity and doubled them. We've also introduced protocols where we will be monitoring more actively their pre-election tests rather than let the commercial partner do their tests. We will want to be more involved in seeing the tests that take place. So they're very committed to that. We did have a fail-safe, a couple of fail-safe solutions. One is that there's a separate channel that provides the results to the media consortium. So the results kept flowing through the media consortium to the media, and that's through a different channel. And that's an important safety that we will, of course, maintain. And we had an alternative replication of our website across the world in thousands of servers, except that replication, two things. One is that it's a static website. We're looking into that. It provides information, but not live information. And we, in hindsight, took too long to switch to that static website. We should have switched sooner. So we're drawing lessons from that event and making sure it does not happen again.
This segues well into my next question about the live results were still being distributed to the media. When I was declared the winner on election night, I did a screen print of the results and posted it to social media and said thank you to all the voters. When I checked the results the next morning, I was down 1,300 votes from the results posted on election night. And there was something that, now, fortunately, my opponent was down by about the same amount, but we saw this in Terrebonne and in other ridings where the results changed from one day to the next. I was wondering if you could explain how it's possible to lose 1,300 votes from election night to the morning of the next day, and why there are these discrepancies in the results being reported to the mainstream media.
I'll have to, Mr. Chair, look into that question more deeply in terms of losing votes, because that is that would be surprising. What is not surprising is that election night results do vary between election night and validation. That's why there's a validation. In fact, if you look at the Elections Act, preliminary results do not exist in the law. That's something that we, of course, provide as a matter of tradition, and Canadians and candidates very much want it. But it has to be clear that on election night, with poll workers calling in results being hand entered into systems, there are late at night fatigue that comes into play and human error. And that's why the validation process is so important. And there's always some variation between election night results and the validation. So that is not unusual. We also sometimes see important swings in the vote, simply because, for example, if a group of advanced poll results come in late at night and they're in a part of the district that tends to favor one candidate, you can see a swing happening, and that sometimes people are concerned about that, but that's not unusual. But we will look into your situation, certainly, and we can talk about that.